It's one of those songs where I've actually caught myself looking out the window and like being super emo. I know that all of you guys have done that before, okay? I'm not the only one. We've all looked out the window and like had a moment and just like pretended that we're in a music video or something. Hi Teen Vogue, I'm Tori Kelly and this is the playlist of my life. I think I'm gonna be doing these in chronological order. I'll kind of take you through some of the songs that I grew up listening to and that are super special to me. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get emotional. First song on my playlist is Shackles, parentheses, Praise You by Mary. And this song just never gets old, honestly. I feel like it's followed me through my entire life. I mean, I grew up listening to Mary. I grew up listening to a lot of gospel music growing up, and it's just a huge part of even just the way that I sing. The chorus, I think, is the most fun about this song. And it's literally about dancing. Take the shackles off my feet so I can dance. I just think it's so fun. Every time I hear it, I feel like dancing. And I'll even play this song like before I go on stage, just like get me hyped. But yeah, this song is just really special. It's followed me through even my adult life. I'm not like a club person, like I don't go out to the clubs or anything, but I was like at a club one time and they literally played this song in the club and I lost my mind. And everybody was like dancing and freaking out. And so I just love that even if you like didn't grow up listening to gospel music or you don't know much about gospel music, like I feel like this song, like a lot of people really know it. And the fact that it can be played in the club and people will still get down is so dope to me. The next song on my playlist, Not the Same by Crystal Lewis. If you know anything about me, you know that I grew up listening to Crystal Lewis. She's probably the first artist that I think of when I just think about singing as a kid because she was so influential. Just her technique is so amazing. And I have such a specific memory with this song that will probably get me emotional. I was probably like 5 or 6. So I'm in the back of the car. We're listening to the song with my family is in the car. And my dad, who's a singer as well, he was trying to teach me what a diaphragm is. And if you don't know what a diaphragm means, it's basically like you're singing from like down here, like from within. It's not like up here, like where people might think that you sing from. It's like the actual technique of like how to belt a really big note is like from your diaphragm, from like your stomach. I'm only 5 and I'm like, Dad, I can't hit this note. We're listening to this song. There's this big note at the end of the song. And I'm so mad because I can't hit it. And I'll never forget, he literally was like, put your hands on your stomach and like push out and basically like tighten your stomach. And I actually hit the note and I just remember freaking out. It was such a cool moment and such a cool memory for me as a kid, just because I was so in the early stages of even just figuring out my voice, figuring out who I was, and just like learning how to sing. And so that's definitely a memory that sticks out to me. And I just love this song and I love Crystal Lewis. She's just such a huge part of my childhood. Fly Away by Lenny Kravitz. This song just reminds me of home. It reminds me of my family. All of us are huge Lenny Kravitz fans. We always loved that he like played every instrument. He was like funk, but soul, but rock. And my dad actually grew up playing in rock bands, which is, I think, why he was so drawn to him. We just always had Lenny Kravitz playing in the house. So when I hear Fly Away, I just think of being with my family. I think of being at home and just like belting out the song and like doing a lot of hair flips and thinking I'm a rock star. He's just like a legend. Like Lenny Kravitz is so dope. His songwriting style is so simple, I think, and it never feels forced. Even just his chord progressions and the way that he sings, it all feels so organic and natural and not overly produced. And I love that he's always stuck to that. I think that's actually a really big part of my upbringing, was listening to music like that. And, my parents would always play music that was just really soulful and authentic. And I think Lenny Kravitz was a big part of that for sure. The 4th song on my playlist is That's What You Get by Paramore. This song / this whole entire album was such a huge part of just me as a musician and kind of figuring myself out, I actually played drums before anything else because my brother got a drum set and he like never played it. So I would like sneak into his room and I would literally put Paramore on in my headphones and just like go crazy. I had so much fun. And obviously her voice, like Hayley Williams' voice is so amazing. Like if I ever met her, I would fangirl so hard. So vocally it was fun too, because I would get to like play drums and go nuts and also kind of try and like sing at the same time. It's just one of those songs that reminds me of like my early teens when, you know, I was just at home all the time, picking up instruments, writing songs. And it was just a really creative era of my life that Paramore is very much part of. I was so emo during this time. I literally had like an A-line haircut that was like really short in the back and then like long in the front. It was, my hair was dark and I had 2 blonde streaks coming out of here. And at one point I even had a straight bang. Paramore and the emo phase definitely went together. The emo phase didn't last, but my love for Paramore did last. So love them. In Your Atmosphere by John Mayer, which is on his live album, Live from Nokia Theater. I was so inspired by when this came out. And it really, even still to this day, is something that I pull inspiration from for my own live shows. I just love the set list. I love how he chooses certain songs to do acoustically, but then brings the full band in. All the times that he, you know, uses talking points. It all feels so thought out and just so well put together. But this song in particular, I love. One, because it actually never has come out as like a studio version. I'm pretty sure he's never put it out. It's just acoustic. The way that he plays is so beautiful, I think. And this was during a time for me where I was starting to get into lyrics and really diving into my feelings, my emotions. You know, at this point, I'm a little bit older, so I'm starting to have, you know, relationships and have things to write about. There's just something about this song. It has like this nostalgic feeling to it. I think the lyrics are just beautiful. It's like sad, but like not too sad. It's like sad, happy, which is like my favorite type of song. I mean, he literally says, I don't think I want to go to LA anymore. I don't think I'm going to go to LA anymore. And you're like, why, John? Why don't you want to go to LA anymore? And then finally he says, because you're there. Like, I don't want to go there because you're there. And I would be sad if I saw you and sad if I didn't see you. So I might as well just stay away. And I just love. The next little chunk of songs, there's kind of a theme going on here. And you'll see why, because my next song is Last Goodbye by Jeff Buckley. This was during a time in my life where, you know, like I said, I was really getting into lyrics. I was getting into my acoustic guitar because I realized that drums and singing together would probably be kind of hard. And it's really hard to like write songs on just drums. So I was like, maybe I should pick up guitar. So that's exactly what I did. And I started to get into artists that were just really soulful, really authentic, true to themselves. Jeff Buckley is one of those artists. I think he was just like gone way too soon. So tragic that he's not here. But the stuff that he did give us is just so incredible to me. I was so inspired by it growing up and listening to it, especially this song, Last Goodbye. One of the things I love about this song is that there's really no chorus. And he was so known for like breaking the rules in music. So he just kind of like took you on a journey. He's like, here's some strings, here's some chords, here's some more chords that will never repeat ever again in the song. And here's some really beautiful poetic lyrics. And so you just feel like you're kind of in this whole world that he's created, and his voice just takes you away to this place. I love that his voice isn't perfect. It's almost like he purposely was showing you like little imperfections and just kind of like, sometimes he would just wail and it would just come out, and there's so much emotion packed into that. And that honestly taught me a lot even just as a singer, because I'm very much a perfectionist and I want everything to sound a certain way. And when I heard him, I started to realize how important it was to show emotion, just to let the emotion come through in your voice, because that can be more important, than just hitting the note perfectly. So Jeff Buckley, huge inspiration. Love him. So the next song on my playlist, Video by India.Arie. And when I discovered this incredible woman, I was so happy, because up until this point, I hadn't really felt connected to an artist in this way. I mean, she plays guitar. The acoustic guitar is like a very big part of her look and her sound. And this was right when I was starting to kind of get into guitar. A lot of the younger artists that I would see were more into piano. And I as much as I wish I could play piano, I just never really gravitated towards it. So there weren't really a ton of artists, female artists especially, that I gravitated towards who sang really soulfully and played guitar and wrote their own songs. And India.Arie just like changed the game for me. This song, Video, I believe it was her first single, and she just like came out the gate like with this amazing anthem. Even to this day, like when you hear this song, it's a great song, I think, to even like get ready to, because it's all about like self-love and, loving yourself exactly the way that God made you. It's just one of those feel-good songs, especially I think as somebody who's struggled with like comparing themselves, and I think a lot of us have struggled with that, especially growing up and being so young. It's like so natural to compare yourselves to other people. And I think this is one of those songs that it was definitely needed in my life. And I still listen to it and I'm like, yes, preach to me. Like I needed to hear this. So, I mean, even lyrically, I think India.Arie has really inspired me and showed me that it's okay to not sing about love sometimes. Like you can sing about something that you believe in that doesn't necessarily have to be about a relationship. And she did that too. Lauryn Hill kind of did a similar thing where they would just kind of talk about life, and it didn't always have to be in the context of love. That was really cool for me as a young female artist growing up, figuring out who I wanted to be. Very great to have India.Arie be there for me to look up to. Like I Love You by Justin Timberlake. I'm already getting giddy just thinking about this song. Like it makes me so happy. I'm a big Justin Timberlake fan. I was a big NSYNC fan growing up. This would be an era where I actually started to get a little more into pop music. And, up until this point, I was like singer-songwriter, like in my room, kind of like weirdo artsy person. And then, getting as I got more into just what was on the radio, I realized like I didn't have to be so serious all the time. And so like in my head, I think it was so groundbreaking when it came out. Like nobody was really doing that style. I mean, you hear the acoustic guitar and then the drums come in.
Don't feel me, baby. It's just Justin. Good, right?
So it's like this live sound, but then it's like he's dancing and it's like Justin Timberlake, and I don't even know. I'm rambling now. I just love this song. Next song on my playlist is You and I by Stevie Wonder. Of course, a classic. It's such a beautiful ballad. I've always known about this song and I've always kind of heard it growing up, but I really didn't appreciate this song until I got older. As I got more into songwriting, as I started putting out my own music, I started kind of looking back in time, and this song is just so beautiful. The lyrics are gorgeous. The chords as well are just super classic. And I think this song really shows off like his vocal capabilities as well. I don't know why, maybe because it's just like he's Stevie Wonder. I forget that like he has like this amazing voice. He's just like the greatest ever. And you can't say anything bad about him. And just the music that he's given us, it'll just live on. It'll be timeless. Every time I hear songs from him, especially the song You and I, it just has such a timeless feeling. It's like a poem. Here we are on earth together. It's you and I. God has made us fall in love. It's true. I've really found someone like you.
God has made us fall in love.
Like, it just sounds like so simple. It's the most simple phrase, like literally you and I. Like you can go in any direction with the phrase like that. As a songwriter, you can like go anywhere with it. But I just love the line that comes before it. Like, in my mind, we can conquer the world. I think it just gives like confidence to a relationship. And I remember being like super emo one day and hearing this song and being like, yeah, you know what? Like, we can conquer the world. Like, we can do anything. And like, it was just one of those moments where it just kind of made me feel refreshed in my relationship. The last song on my playlist, Bluebird by Alexis French. And this song's actually just instrumental. I was just on a flight, and I usually try and sleep on planes. I usually would find like some sort of sleep playlist, on my phone. And I think this song just popped up, and I just started crying, like on a plane for like no reason. This song is instrumental. There's something so magical to me about this song. I don't know if it's the chords and the way that he transitions from different parts, but it's one of those songs that just makes my mind kind of wander into different parts of my life, whether that's looking back and thinking of a memory, happy or sad. That's the crazy thing about this song, is it's like you can literally insert whatever memory you want. And it probably sounds so crazy, but this is just how I feel about this song. Like I've cried happy tears to this song. I've cried sad tears to this song. Maybe it's something to do with the fact that, it is instrumental. So you kind of have room to insert your own story into it. But I really grew to love instrumental music and just like, beautiful piano and orchestra from being on planes and, trying to get myself to relax. And it really has been an amazing journey to go down, and just discovering just a different style of music. I think it's kind of like a palate cleanser too for me, because I'm around music so much, always thinking about like a catchy chorus. And so it's kind of nice to take a step back and just literally like listen to some strings, just kind of get lost in your own thoughts. I'm kind of all over the place when it comes to music. I mean, I think I specifically chose these songs for the playlist of my life because I have such an emotional attachment to them, or there's some memory that sticks out so strongly in my mind. I have other playlists, where it's just a fun song, or I just like dancing to it, or I like a lyric in it, but it doesn't mean that it is connected to, a personal moment in my life. So I think that's why I chose these songs for the playlist of my life, because they're just really special and they hit different. If you guys want to go check out all those songs, feel free to do so. Let me know if you cry, if you dance, if you laugh, if you cry again, let me know.